So I thought of a couple things we could talk about, and by that I mean two. Oh,
Go on.
right. One of which was I think I'm pretty sure we've spoken about this before, but smelling things away. I think that's an interesting topic.
That's what you're leading with. You're leading with one of the most insane things that you've ever brought up.
I don't think it's that insane.
It's one of the most deranged things you've ever fully believed.
I'm just saying. Like, I find the idea of smell fascinating because I just don't understand it at all. I don't know how. I don't understand how it can work.
The issue lies in the fact that I've explained to you how smell works numerous times, but you think I'm lying.
I don't think you're lying. I just forget, and also when you tell me, it just sounds ridiculous.
It's just so insane.
So the premise is,
right, go on.
For those listening, let's say you had
an apple pie.
Okay. What made me thought of it today, right? Was I've got a pen made of brass, right? I got a pen made of brass, and brass has a really distinct smell. It's very smelly. And if you don't know it, go find some in brass. If you know, and smell that.
This is your weekly reminder to go smell some brass.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Quality.
It's very distinct, right? The smell of brass. To me, it smells of Meccano, but I don't think most people will understand what that is.
No, I think Meccano smells like brass. Brass doesn't smell like Meccano.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's just outline
but
that
anyway,
correctly
so
first.
My thought is, if you had a piece of brass, right? Don't just get stuck with a grenade. You can smell it, right? And smell is particles. I believe, going into your nose and your brain going, particles. They smell, right?
Right.
So,
yeah,
so what I'm saying is, I don't know if you're gonna pick up what I put down. But what I'm saying is, if you could smell a ingot of brass for long enough, does that mean you could smell all of the particles and there'd be nothing left?
So there's several things wrong with that.
I don't. Okay.
So
enlighten me.
Right, you know what Half-Life is, don't you?
Yeah.
Like
it's a game by Valve.
Yeah. So you know what Half-Life? Like,
yeah, no, I do. Yeah. So
like every element has like a time. The time it takes for it to decay to half its mass.
Yeah.
So sticky. So
the idea that gold has a very long half-life, which is why we use it for currency.
Well, I'm not entirely sure if. I think it's only radioactive particles that have a half-life.
No, I think everything is slightly radioactive, right?
That's everything will have, but like
it will degrade, and
it's like how when things degrade down the elemental chain, it always ends up being lead because that's like incredibly stable and has like a half-life of more time than the universe has been, or some shit like that. I don't know.
It's some shit like that.
But yeah, so what I'm saying is the bronze would have half-lifed away before you smell it away.
No, but I'm saying, assuming that it didn't change otherwise, right?
What? What do you mean? Like, hang on, wait. Assuming what? So assuming the rest of physics didn't work.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is, initially I don't know why, but I think at the time we were smelling. I could smell strawberries the first time I thought about this, and that was the original.
You were trying to work out if you could smell an entire strawberry.
Smell a strawberry away.
Nothing.
Yeah, basically snort a strawberry, but through just smell alone, right?
But over the course of
over the course of however long it would take. But obviously the problem there is strawberries go off and would rot away before you would smell the whole thing. So the idea there was, what if it just didn't go off? What then? And then we discussed this with somebody that I considered pretty smart, and they said, well, eventually it will just stop smelling. And I was like, I don't understand how that could be possible. Because so everything like, I don't know, does everything smell? I think that's something we need to get down first. Does everything smell of something?
Everything can smell.
Yeah, but does it smell? Like if I picked up...
it depends on whether or not it exudes particles or not.
Well, exude away.
Okay, all right. Let's
probably
name
I can always smell you.
Let's name some things that don't smell. How about
that? Yeah.
What doesn't smell?
Plastic?
No,
like
plastic
doesn't
smells.
have much of a smell, does it?
Yeah, it does. It smells like oil and such.
I'd say this empty Pepsi can I just picked up doesn't smell. I'd say that doesn't smell
like
of anything.
Pepsi.
No, but the can itself It's not rubbed in Pepsi. I'm not smelling the inside. I'm smelling the outside of the can. I'd say that doesn't really smell. So at that point, is it just, does it smell so little that I can't really pick it up, or does it not smell at all? I don't know.
It'll smell so little, like everything.
Yeah,
like,
everything must smell a
releases
bit,
particles.
Yeah,
and you just can't smell them because our noses aren't designed to smell. Like humans have a really shit sense of smell.
Are you in the flying thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll meet you up there then.
Humans have a really dog shit sense of smell. Like, it's terrible compared to other animals.
Yeah, but we can smell things. Okay, here's another question.
Well,
Here's another question. Would it take a dog less long to smell away an ingot of brass? Because it can smell better. Huh?
Would it take a dog less long to smell away an ingot of brass?
Yeah.
Top 10 sentences of all time.
Absolutely vaporized Victorian child. I don't think it's a bizarro world. I think you give me a piece of brass and, 100 billion years, I'm smelling that shit away.
Also,
they ain't going to be nothing
think
left.
about it.
Where are we supposed to go? Yeah.
Right, think about it.
Off.
That's a lot of brass, right?
That's a lot of brass.
You want that? You want that in your body?
Well, no, yeah, but you eat a lot of iron throughout your life, don't you? It doesn't all stay there.
But your body can
digest it and turn it into shit and
stuff. But not brass. Your body's not doing that with brass, you dimwit.
I think it would do eventually. I just think, all right, then we'll go back to the strawberry thing. I think you could smell away strawberry because they smell really strong. I don't think they would run out of smell. Can we get in there?
But with this, all right, okay, but this is obviously predicated on your suggestion that nothing additional is happening to the strawberry.
Well, no, but you agree, right? When you smell a strawberry out, some of it is like it gets smaller by as much as you smell, right?
Yes,
that we can agree on. So
this is going to take some googling though, because I need to understand the parts per million of a particular scent that the human nose, like the olfactory glands in your nose, need to receive in order to detect it as a smell.
Don't hit me with words like olfactory.
What do you mean? It's the sequel to Satisfactory.
Aren't they the Russian people with all the money? The olfactories.
Yeah. The Russian olfactories. Yeah. So we need to know how many parts per nose you need to sniff.
If you
right in
of the 5 people or less that are listening, let us know in the comments. 6. 2 of those were us.
4
minimum.
people watched that shit. Or
Holy
at least
shit!
Clicked on that
That's
shit.
Crazy.
So we need to know like nose per minute.
Yeah.
Nose particles per minute.
Nose particles per minute. How quick could I smell away a strawberry? Because I think I could do it. And I'm not saying.
The thing is, it's particles required to smell.
Yeah.
So how many parts per million are needed to smell, and then what a percentage of a strawberry is that?
Yeah.
Also, hang on. What are we talking about? Are we talking like
some on the better
little strawberry or big fucker?
Well, anyway, I think it's fundamentally different than just shoving one up your nose. I think it is. I think it'd affect you differently, obviously, because it's over a lot longer. But
so that's what you need. You need.
So anyway, okay.
Parts per million.
We'll maybe shelf this and come back to it when we know more. Because I think it's an interesting topic, to be honest. If I had a small ingot of brass, given enough time, could I smell it away? Or would it just stop smelling? Or, I think they're the only 2 options, to be honest. It wouldn't just continuously smell, would it? Because something's got to run out. Like that's
no.
That's
hang on. Counterpoint. Stuff doesn't stop smelling. Your body just stops telling you that it smells.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Yeah, but particles would still be entering my nose, right?
Yes.
So I'm saying eventually.
But what I'm saying is, you wouldn't know that it was still smelling because your brain would stop telling you that it was smelling.
Yeah, but I'm not. But I still have eyes. I can still look at it and be like, "Well, it's not all gone yet. I guess I'll keep going." So anyway, have you thought of anything? Anything happened in your life recently that's worth talking about?
I told you about the masturbator, didn't I?
Yeah, you did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to.
Told you about that story.
Go on that a little bit though, because otherwise that's a weird thing to say.
So I work in a bar.
Yeah.
And I got told a story of a man, the masturbator of this particular bar.
You get a lot of good stories out of this job, by the way. I think it's worth it. There's a lot of type 2 fun. That's something to circle back on.
This guy turned up they said like a year and a half ago ish, and just was fucking straight up joking it.
Yeah.
At the bar, just stood at the
Yeah.
bar, hand in his trousers, like his hand was in his coat pocket, sort of massaging away.
Massaging away, yeah.
Yeah, at his various bits and pieces.
Various parts, yeah.
Yeah, just having a grand old time.
Yeah.
Having a marvelous journey.
Sometimes
with
you
it
got to,
all.
haven't you?
Yeah, was summarily ejected from the restaurant and told, cease your ingress. This far,
God.
no farther.
Yeah. What is your father? Oh my God.
Yeah. So my father turned up and started masturbating in
Stop
my bar.
fucking jorking it in front of me.
Fucking ridiculous, insane.
I just
yeah.
chuck him out.
Yeah.
You swing him around like you would a cat's tail, but just with his dick.
What do you mean? Like
no,
a cat's tail?
No, but that's the imagery. I'm not saying you would do that or I would do that. I'm saying you get the idea.
Prick.
You get the idea. Anyway.
So
continue.
anyway, he turns up again. He's recognised by one of the server staff.
Yeah.
Who just comes up to the bar and goes, "The masturbator's returned." Oh, these fuckers again.
Yeah. The masturbator's returned.
And he was stood. He wasn't masturbating, to my knowledge.
He wasn't.
But he was
just
stood,
massaging.
No, he was stood at the bar with what I can only describe as excessive tumescence.
Yeah.
Just.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was wearing quite. I don't know how to describe it. What do you know? Those there's jeans you can get, but they're like the thread,
jorts,
the thickness of the jeans. They were like stiff jeans. Do you know those kind of jeans that
you sure that wasn't due to his tumescence?
You have to kind of cardboard yourself into them, like
cardboard.
I don't know if I describe it this well or not.
I think you're.
All right,
crazy.
you know, you've got like a pair of jeans that are quite comfortable,
like starched. You mean like starched
yes,
jeans?
he was wearing what I can only describe as like starched jeans.
Right.
So my initial reaction was that it wasn't his tumescence. It was just
how his jeans were.
We've all sat down and had a bit of a trouser fold, just take shape.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I get that all the time.
That's what I thought was happening. I was like, he's just got a bit of trouser shape, but
a bit of trouser shape. Instead, it was a trouser snake.
It was just too rigid. It was just
too rigid for that. Yeah.
And in addition to that, so he sort of had a similar, fairly lithe frame, quite like yourself.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Just relatively just regular sized arms and legs.
Yeah.
But an absolutely
unlike me.
No, I'm saying like you. You have quite a regular sized man. You think? Know? You're tall.
I don't think I'm very regular sized, but yeah.
No,
you're regular proportion.
Regular proportion sized man. Yeah. Quite tall, but proportion wise, quite regular. But anyway. But he had the most tremendous pot belly I'd ever seen.
Wow.
Like, it was like I said to Rach, I was
jealous?
like, it looked like somebody had prosthetic to belly onto his stomach. Like it looked like a fake. And then directly below this enormous, protuberant pot belly was just an erection.
Wow.
Just a visible.
Just all.
Just rod on. Yeah, so we just sort of watched him amble around the restaurant.
Yeah,
at full mast.
Yeah, full mast. And what happened?
He just left.
He just left. You didn't have to throw him out.
Not officially. He approached the table of some what appeared to be 16-year-old girls.
Right. Yeah.
And attempted to make conversation of them, to which the owner of the restaurant went over and said, "Could you not do that at all?
Yeah.
Even a little bit is terrible."
Right. Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, I'm just waiting for a taxi," and then just walked out the door.
All right.
And that was the last of it.
I hope you got home safely. That's all I'll say.
Do you? I don't know. I don't know if I do.
Well, I wouldn't wish, violence upon anyone or injuries or death or whatever,
Pussy.
Yeah.
You got to wish a bit of death on some people.
Wish a bit of death. Yeah, well. I have realised today I probably should just never run or jog. Which is,
is that due to your weird proportions?
It's because of my wild proportions, yeah.
Yeah. It's because you've got arms 3 times as long as your head.
That's it.
Wait,
That's the issue. You got it in one.
3 times.
The doctor says they're going to have to amputate
No, I
or
reckon
can
your
stop
arms
running.
are three. I reckon your arms are 3 times as large as your head.
You reckon? Depends in proportion, you know.
But anyway, go on. What brought you to
Yeah,
this moment of elucidation?
often you know, if I know the tram times roughly when I'm on my way back from work.
Yeah.
So I know they're about every 12 minutes, supposedly, and I to get home marginally quicker, and I'm talking like you know minutes, minutes quicker. I will jog to the tram to catch a slightly earlier one, right? And eventually, after doing that for some time, I got shin splints, which, if you don't know, just makes your shins really fucking hurt. It's very painful when you do any running or like impact on your feet whatsoever.
Right, they're like bone spurs.
They don't protrude; they're internal. I think it's just like a muscle ache, but I think it can have long-term consequences if you keep doing it. Or at least that's what I learned today, looking it up on the NHS website. Shout out
How
to
do
the
you know
NHS.
you've got shin splints?
Because I have the exact symptoms, and Hannah's told me that's probably what it is.
Right, well, have you not thought that maybe you're just over-exaggerating?
No, it's definitely, it's absolutely that.
Right. Okay, so you're allergic to exercise, is what you're telling me?
No, I can work out the top half. I think.
Right.
But yeah,
you're a top half only.
I can't run. I'm gonna be top heavy. I'm gonna have completely opposite proportions of what I have now, I think.
God.
Eventually, if I do any exercise, which to be honest, the only reason I did any exercise was to get home, so I could play more video games. So it seems like that's gonna go the way of the dodo.
Yep, that's 2 episodes in a row.
That's 2 episodes with the dodo, and I thought the same thing. How about that?
Yeah. Which I learned yesterday was stupid and delicious.
Yeah.
Much like you.
Thanks. I think it probably came around because I initially, when I started jogging from work, was wearing Chelsea boots.
Right.
Which,
don't know what they are.
They're like the leather boots that you can kind of slip on, right? They don't have any laces or anything.
Oh,
you know
they're
those?
called Chelsea boots?
They're called Chelsea boots. And they have a bit of a heel and a very hard sole. And I imagine doing that.
Ophthalmologist would be called that.
Yeah, well, jogging in those, probably not very good for your physiology.
What does Chelsea think about you jogging in her boots?
Well, I wouldn't like to think about it, to be honest. I'm very embarrassed if she was to find out.
No, I was going to say, like, yeah, you're not really a trainer's kind of guy, are you?
Well, the thing is, I kind of am these days. I'm one of those people now that has to wear... I'm a bit embarrassed to say this.
Orthopedics, aren't you?
I'm not orthopedics, but I do wear trainers to work so I can run on the way back.
Such an insane sentence to say.
Well, there you go. I didn't think I'd ever be one of these people. I think I'm half a step away from wearing a Mac to work as well.
Like
you know,
a laptop.
No, not a Mac. An anorak. You know, just in case it rains.
You're in. Wait, so you're not at the stage of shoe swapping then?
No, I don't shoe swap.
You're not a shoe swapper.
I'm not a shoe swapper, thankfully, not yet. Anyway.
You're committed to your choice of shoe throughout the day.
Yeah, I did carry an umbrella to work today though, which I think is definitely on the same lines.
No, I disagree fundamentally with that.
Oh, it's like a golf umbrella though. It's not like a little one. It's like yes, building society umbrella.
No. Do you know what?
You're on board with the umbrella.
I'm totally like, fuck. Just it's that or what? Just get wet.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, no, if I've got a big ass umbrella, I'm carrying a big ass umbrella.
Yeah, well, I did. I thought it would be a really good idea for when it rains because I kept getting wet and because I'd forget my umbrella. Right, is to get a waterproof for going to work in. Right, just in case it starts to rain. And so I got one. And then it was raining one day, and I was like, "Oh, brilliant! I can try out my new waterproof." Went on my way to work.
We're talking about here.
This is a coat. Yeah, it's a coat. Went to work. Yeah, worked absolutely perfectly, except obviously didn't work for my legs because that's not where it is, and I just had completely soaked through legs for the whole day, and it was horrible. So I think we need to think about that. Where's the coats that just go down your feet? You know,
they're called trench coats, and they've existed for hundreds of years.
But I feel like trench coats have certain connotations.
Actually,
you know?
no. Sorry, they're not
You know
called
what I mean?
trench coats. They're called great
Called
coats.
Great coats, yeah. I feel like people would look at me weird though, you know, even weirder than they do already. If I was just
Or you
walking
could
around
just
with a great coat on. Great coat.
great coat. You could
Great
just
coat.
get one of those
Could just take an umbrella like you do now.
big, like clear ponchos you get from Alton Towers.
Oh yeah, well that's what I'm saying. The little ones that go in a little bag, and they're like,
Yeah.
it's like getting a sleeping bag back in, you know, like impossible to get back in.
You just store it up your ass though.
Yeah, you just put it up your ass, and then it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, then nobody has to know. You've always got it on you. Prison pocket. So yeah, they're the only things I thought about to talk about. So we're gonna have to riff from here on out.
So we've gone from
thanks.
Can you smell something away to
Yeah.
I bought a coat and I wear women's shoes.
Speaking of, it's not women's shoes. What?
They're called Chelsea boots. Of course they are.
Oh, and women's shoes, not women's
Yeah.
shoes. The shoes of a woman. A specific woman called Chelsea.
You should wear Allen boots.
Allen
not
boots,
Chelsea
that'd be
boots.
much smarter.
Those are
I
for a
see-
man.
I see your
Those
point,
are a
I see your
man's
point.
boots.
Yeah. On the topic of rain and smelling, though, man, rain.
Petrichor? Crazy.
Yeah, there is, but
What do you mean there is? That's not a correct
is.
response to the thing I said.
what? No, I
said,
think I stopped.
oh,
halfway through.
Petrichor, and you went, there
Petrichor,
is.
yeah. There
I
is.
was like,
There is.
I know there is.
Petrichor.
Right, go on. In the topic of rain and smelling, tie those two
Umbrellas,
together.
after being rained on, much like other waterproof substances, smell so bad. What's the deal with that?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Well, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
They
here's my
smell
theory.
so bad.
My theory
It
is
smells like
that...
cheese.
Okay.
It does smell like cheese.
Okay, no, but I feel like no,
Ugh.
nope.
Yeah. Does smell of cheese.
No,
Yeah. It's
but
cheesy.
I feel like it's partly to do
Cheese
with
adjacent.
probably. It sounds like Swiss chard. Partly
Yeah.
to do with like the smell of all the pollutants and the toxins in the rain, and as the rain evaporates off the umbrella, it sort of forces those smells airborne.
Okay, so that's like, I would argue that concept is exactly like smelling it away, because that's the particles leaving the thing, right?
No.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
right.
No.
Here's something to think about.
Okay.
What does the word wet mean?
Wet.
Yeah.
I would say
Specifically, I want you
coated
to
in
tell
liquid.
me.
Something
Coat-
that is
Right.
okay.
so-
Well, I actually I don't, because it was coated in like slime.
Yeah. What if it
I
was
don't know if
coated
I
in
consider
jam?
it wet. No, well, is jam a
Would you say
liquid?
it's-
I feel like it's one of those in between. You know,
It's a Bose-Einstein condensate.
you're saying a lot of words today, man. That's all I
Right.
can
Okay.
say.
What if it was coated in
Oil,
like
wet with oil. I think that would fly just about.
no, because you'd say
but-
slick with oil, wouldn't you?
I don't. If your mum was covered in oil, I might say she's wet with oil. But maybe I'm referring to.
No,
the-
you'd say
you know.
no. You know what you'd
I'd
say.
say
if
she's
my mum was
wet
covered-
and covered in oil.
No. What would you say?
I'd say.
She's wet.
Sorry.
You'd say she is wet as.
Wet as a bog witch.
You'd say
That's what
she's
I would
wet as
say.
a bog
I'd say
witch, yeah.
she's wet as a bog witch.
Yeah. No. But yeah. Okay.
Um,
So when something is wet, you would say it is covered in a liquid.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
So-
specific to water, is it?
Well,
I think that's what you're getting at. I think that's
herein
where
lies,
you're gearing me towards.
herein lies the really interesting thing.
Yeah.
Something can only be wet if it has water on and about its person. Like
I think on, not about. Because imagine a bottle of water in my pocket, you wouldn't say you're a bit wet today.
well, I suppose, yeah. Yeah. Yes, something
Interesting.
categorically can
'Cause I would
only
say-
be wet if it has water
Yeah, because
in or
I
on
would
it.
say orange juice can be wet, but that's got water in. That's got a lot of water content in.
Yeah,
Right?
it is wet.
So yeah, that is wet. Whereas oil, no.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it does have trace elements of water in it.
Well, I mean, if it did, I wouldn't know. So I would
And-
say no.
And this was like a fact that I was acutely aware of and always have been. And then
Yeah.
I kind of realised how insane it is that you can purchase like pure clear liquids
Mm-hmm.
and they just say
What if I do?
contains no water. Like they're called anhydrous.
Right.
And it's
Well,
like,
specifically has no water in.
yeah, the phrase
Oh.
anhydrous,
Yeah.
or sometimes they even call it dry.
Just
you
dry.
can get like these things that it's like dry sulfuric acid, and it's a clear liquid, but it's called
it's
but it's
not wet.
dry because it's not wet because it has no water in it.
How about that?
And I was like, fuck. Yeah, so
Only if it's got water in. How about that?
only water. All right, here's an age old.
Yeah.
Is water wet?
Don't start this because I think
I think it needs to be talked about.
I think I stand on the side
Choose your
that
words
says,
very carefully.
No, it's not wet. I'd say no.
Right.
How can unless now here's the thing, unless it's of a mixture, let's say, half oil, half water would float on water, right? So then water could be wet because it's got water on it, I guess.
Well, what? No, hang on. See what I mean? Wait, you can't mix oil and water.
No, you can emulsify it. You can mix it. Just I'm
then,
sure there's an emulsifier that swaps it all in.
Well, yeah, but no, that's getting me way off topic with what I'm talking about. Oh, not these fuckers again.
What do you mean? Oh, fucking missed.
Right. So what I'm going to say is that I think I would agree.
Right.
That water is not wet.
Okay.
Because water inherently makes things wet, and therefore can't
Yeah. But I would say if you had a mixture of water that would float on a different kind of water, one of them can be wet but not the other, or maybe both are wet. I'm not sure.
So what, like?
We just need to go down here.
A non-polar water, you mean? That would mix.
Well, no, like my example. If you did mix oil and water, and then poured it onto pure water, then it would float on the top, right? So then is the water underneath wet, or are they both wet?
Yeah, but maybe. But then, like, if I put a bottle of water on your head, are you wet?
Yeah. No, the bottle is wet, but it's contained. I think it's whatever it's touching, right? To mention.
Okay, I got something
specific scenario.
And this is something that I've attempted to explain my thought process.
Okay.
Like on to people.
Man, it's all about theoreticals today, isn't it?
This
is the theoretical episode.
Struggled to explain what I'm referring to.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
so
let's give it a go.
Think about color perception. Okay. So like you see, like this banshee is purple, right?
Yeah. Oh, and just direct it.
It's purple, and you know it's purple because when you were a child, you were shown something purple, and somebody said to you, "This is purple."
Yeah.
Now, I understand there's color blindness isn't. They don't see in black and white.
Yeah.
But their colour palette is shifted.
I feel like some people do, don't they? Some people do see.
I don't know. All I know is protanopia and whatever it is. Like, there's the kind that Sneaky has.
Right. I think that's red-green, isn't it?
It's red-green. His brain conflates red and green with each other and can't differentiate between the two.
Yeah. His brain inflates red and green together.
So I'm imagining, and I'm not sure if it exists, but
if there's a sound, colour, Jesus Christ,
so loud,
my ears. What the fuck?
If there's a form of colour blindness that causes you to... So, imagine you swap yellow and blue.
Yeah.
And you've got this condition since birth.
Yeah.
And you sit in class, and the teacher shows you a picture of the sky, and goes, "This is the sky. It's blue."
Yeah.
Now, in your eyes, you're seeing what we would call yellow.
Yeah.
But being taught that is blue.
Yeah. Are you still in this?
How am I dead? How am I?
I don't
what
know.
has
How am I
caused me
alive?
to die? Yeah. So, and then you go your whole life. Would you ever? How would you ever know?
I don't think you'd ever know. Yeah. I don't think you would ever know, unless, because here's the thing. There is, like, I was gonna say some colors are darker than others, but that's not true, is it? Because it's completely dependent on tone.
Darker? What? Yeah, no, that
well,
is
like
true.
I would
Some
say
colours are
blue.
darker than others.
No, but I would say, I guess maybe I don't know. I think it's more about the intensity, isn't it? And like the contrast and the whatever. Because I feel like in general, blue is darker than yellow, right? But I don't know if that's true. Is it? I think both can be. I guess it's literally higher energy.
Well, again, it's about how many photons are being reflected back. Like that's the only thing that differentiates it. So yellow reflects more photons than blue, so I suppose categorically it's brighter. Yeah, but like, isn't that crazy to think that?
Yeah, you would just never know.
And then I sit there and I go, is that me? Like,
yeah, maybe it's us. No,
I
I
look at the
agree.
world
No,
around me and
I
I'm
thought
like-
about this before as well. I'm like, well, I would never know. In the same way that, now here's another thing. What, like, an alien race may just perceive reality completely differently, right? Oh, bit
Wait,
of
what?
connection issue. Like an alien race, like me and you, if you were to see through my eyes,
Yeah.
you might think what I see as a human is like a giant alien bug monster, and we can never know.
Wait,
And
you...
do you see what I mean?
Sorry,
Like,
hang on.
in the same way, my blue might be your yellow. What if my
Your
square was your
rabbit.
circle?
Well,
What?
that's totally not the same thing.
No, but well, no, it isn't. But who's to say if that is true or not? Because nobody's ever seen through anyone else's eyes other than their own, right? So maybe we all see. Maybe our brain interprets the reality in a completely different way. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose there's like what's that condition called where your brain
Idiotism.
there's a condition where you just like your brain inputs are just totally scrambled.
Oh.
And you just see like crazy lights and sounds and stuff, but I can't remember what it's called.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if you were to see through my eyes? Maybe you'd think what I'm seeing is completely insane and terrifying. You know?
Well, this brought me into a. I was reading a bit about like the Cthulhu mythos.
This brought me into Cthulhu mythos.
This brought me down into talking about the Cthulhu mythos. And I saw a quote about the. So you know how the standard conceptual idea is that you see these eldritch horrors.
Yep.
And it just fractures your mind.
Yeah.
And you just lose. You just can't. Like they always say, like you've seen something you can't comprehend, and it's just shattered your mind completely.
Yeah.
And I saw someone say the thing with the Cthulhu mythos is it was never about this person seeing something that shatters their mind. What they would see, they would see something that they did understand, and it was the understanding of that.
That's exactly it. I've had multiple times. I've run multiple Call of Cthulhu sessions, like RPG sessions. And the amount of times my idiot character, the idiot of the group, survives because they don't understand what they're seeing and therefore don't go insane, is numerous. Like they're usually the ones that are best off. Because they have no skills, because they don't understand what they're seeing, they don't know to be scared of it, or they don't know that it's unusual or weird.
I was like, isn't that a fucking crazy
that's crazy.
thought?
That is crazy.
You can have your mind broken not through misunderstanding but through understanding.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
I think that's a great idea. It's one of my favorite
so cool
points about that game. It's kind of wild.
It's like Geordie LaForge's visor. There's an episode of Next Generation where he hooks his visor into the mainframe and Picard goes on screen, and then they're looking at what he sees through his visor. And then basically like giving him shit because he's disabled.
They're basically
saying, seriously, is this what you look at every day? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, it's fucking terrible. It's awful.
It's fucking horrible. How do you put up with this shit?
It's like, Jesus.
Wow.
So TNG, ableist.
Yeah.
But
your vision is in standard definition, you bozo.
Well, like his vision, he sees like the EM spectrum. He sees like X-rays, magnetic radiation, all this shit. And I'm like,
Jordan LaForge. Does he have X-ray vision as well?
He could like see like heat signatures and shit through walls.
All I'm saying is Diana Troy, or whatever her name is. Whew.
Diana Troy, yeah.
I don't know what she looks like. I've just heard that's the
Troy,
person that people go.
Commander Riker, #1. He's constantly like hound dogging every woman around him, just all the time. Yeah.
Oh, like, just being teleported around like a bitch.
He meets like a new woman and he's like, "Hey," and then they're just immediately like dripping.
Is he the one? Oh my god! Is he the one where there's that meme where he ran a show where it's like How It's Made or something, but it wasn't quite. It was like a science program where it explained how things work, and he's like, "Have you ever seen the devil?" And then it cuts to another one of you.
Yes, yeah, that's him.
Have you ever considered how big a table is? It's like,
Yeah.
I love those fucking super cuts of him doing those are so fucking funny.
Ever gone mountain biking? What do you want to be when you grow up? What's the right tip? Have you called a plumber to your home lately? How superstitious are you? How much money would it take to make you spend a night in a cemetery? Would you display this as a trophy? Do you have a pet? Do you have a sweet tooth? Do you believe in the power of a curse? Have you had your hearing tested lately?
I'm gonna have to,
What's his
I'm gonna have
name?
to put Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan, yeah, him doing those questions. It's like you're in some kind of insane. Have
you ever seen anything made out of wood?
Yeah,
just totally.
Have you ever smelled a strawberry out of existence? It's like, what are you saying?
Have you ever seen a caterpillar with 1 million shoes?
1 million shoes. I'd like to meet him though. I think he'd be good at a dinner party, as long as you're not a woman.
Yeah, he's charismatic. Well, no, I don't think. I don't think he's probably sexist.
What do you mean? I struggle to detach reality from fiction.
Oh, so you're not a Kanye West fan then?
Man, that fucking guy.
Because I know that you get more detached from reality than him.
Oh my god.
I had to listen to a group of people at work the other day talking about what a genius he is.
Yeah.
And how he invented rockets and
invented
invented space.
I'm happy to concede. Okay, invented space, maybe. I'm happy to concede he's probably, at least once, or maybe somewhere in there, a really fucking smart guy. Because he just has to have been at some point, right? There was no way it's like a Knives Out situation where he's just an idiot and everyone believes he's on some kind of higher plane. Spoilers for that show, by the way. Spoiler alert. Maybe I want to put one in there, but
what?
You know,
what show?
Knives Out, Glass Onion. You seen that? It's a film with Daniel Craig in where he plays a southern detective.
What do you mean onions? What?
It's a film called Knives Out, Glass Onion. It's like a sequel to the original Knives Out.
Well, you can't. Hang on, I've not processed the first title, and then you tell me it's a sequel.
Well, the second title's simpler than the original because it's the original.
What's the original called?
The original's called Knives Out, and then it's like Knives Out :
It's called Knives Out : Knives in my colon.
Knives in my colon.
A glass onion.
Followed by a glass onion. Yeah. And then Daniel Craig plays this like
is that the
southern Texas detective.
Where he's in like a dressing gown with 2 guns. Is that from that?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, Daniel Craig.
Yeah, not
Daniel Radcliffe.
No, not that.
I saw a face morph of him and Elijah Wood the other day, and I'm fully aware that they look similar, but I wasn't quite aware of how similar they looked.
Yeah, it's like Katy Perry and the girl, the other one. What's her name?
The other girl.
Katy Perry.
Name a woman.
Name a woman. The girl that was in Yes Man and
Zooey Deschanel.
Zooey Deschanel, yeah. Apparently she used to say, this is probably the thing that everyone knows as well, but apparently she used to tell everyone she was Katy Perry, so she'd get into clubs for free.
Breaking news.
Breaking news from 2006.
Zooey Deschanel, bitch.
Man, we're really all over the place with especially the theoreticals today, but
that's all right.
You have dinner party, right?
Multiple short. Yeah, is this
dinner
guests?
Party list?
Ideal guests.
Yeah, guests. You have not ideal. I want you to get me a list of you plus 4 people who you think would disagree the most. Not with you, with each other, and you just get to sit there with the popcorn.
So I'm not part of the situation.
No, you're not. You don't have to pick like fucking
I'm just an amused
Hitler
observer.
and Elon Musk and yeah. You're hosting.
They'd get on swimmingly, Danny. What do you mean?
No, yeah, but I'm saying disagree with you. No, they have to disagree with each other, and you're the host. So I want you to bear that in mind.
Well, I'd say like, okay, Russell Brand.
Okay, right.
And Pope John Francis.
Yeah, Pope John Francis has got to be up there in any list, I think.
And Russell Brand, I think, would have. And Christopher Hitchens.
I don't know who that is.
Right, Alex O'Connor.
I don't know who that is. Should I know who they are?
Richard Dawkins. You know Rich Dawkins?
I know of Mr.
Stephen.
Goggins.
Not David Goggins.
Not Dave Goggins. Is it David Goggins? I don't think that's right.
That's David Goggins.
I don't think his name's David. I think it's something else Goggins.
I'm not talking about Walton Goggins.
Yeah, that's it. It's like
I'm talking
Walter
about
Goggins.
Dave Goggins.
Who the fuck is Dave Goggins when he's at home?
All right, so I'm going with Pope John Francis, incumbent, I might add, although the Catholic Church are looking to refresh their pope.
Incumbent. Shit is
Interestingly, do you know there's been more Pope
memes.
Boniface.
Sorry?
Right? There's been more Pope Bonifaces than there have been Martins.
Oh, I see. That's a name.
Yeah.
I see. I didn't know that. That is interesting.
There's been 8 Pope Bonifaces.
Wow.
And 1 Pope Martin.
8 Bonifaces?
8 Bonifaces, 3 Martins.
Wow. That's wild.
Right, 21 Johns.
21 Johns, yeah.
The number goes up to 23. But the number goes up to 23 because one guy wrote Pope John the 16th's name twice for some reason, and then another one just forgot to name himself 20 and just went to 21. So there's 23 Johns.
So there's like John the 24th will be next, even though there's only been 22 before.
There's only been 21, but we're up to John 23. Because one guy
wrote his name twice. What do you mean he wrote his name twice?
No,
and another one forgot his name.
One guy was making a list of popes.
Yeah.
And wrote like Pope John the 16th down twice in the list. So they just use that as like the de facto list of popes.
That is now there is something that's a good fucking fact.
Yeah. So when Pope John the 24th is inaugurated,
he'll be the 22nd John.
He'll be the 22nd John. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's some good shit. That is some good shit.
But yeah, more people have been poped and then gone, do you know what? I'm going to go with Boniface.
Yeah.
Like,
no way.
8 of them thought Boniface was a cracker.
Boniface was the way to go, yeah.
Well, I mean, all the popes are crackers, but that's beside the point. Sort of the lay of the land, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but me and Tom were looking at prospective new popes.
Oh, is the current one like... Well, he's incumbent, whatever that means, yeah.
That just means he's the Pope at the moment.
Oh. He's encumbered with the Pope because it's too heavy.
Yeah, but
it's like a Fallout when you pick up all the guns.
We were looking at the options for popes.
Right.
And, like, of the people... Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, I just jumped
of the people, it's like...
Oh.
There's a guy who's, like... I'm sure Tom said he was, like, Southeast Asian or something.
Right.
He believes in, like... family values, but also as you know, showed support for like the LGBTQ community.
Sure.
You know, he believes in like protection against AIDS in developing countries by like providing like condoms for people. Like I was like, okay,
personally,
great.
Can I offer you a condom in this trying time?
And then all the other people are ultra conservative old white men who hate all progressiveness.
But who's gonna win? That's the question.
Yeah, who do you fucking think?
Oh, I'm dead. That's fair. That's the way the world is in a minute, though. Everyone is a bit right wing. All the parties, I mean, all the people in power. They're all, it's just fallen into feudalism, honestly.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everyone. All you lovely people.
And as we will every week, we apologise.
We apologise for anything we've said and everything we will say.
Yeah.
Everything I'm saying now. I'm sorry. At the end of the day.
So all-encompassing.
Yeah.
We apologise for everything said and everything that will be said.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough. If you didn't like it, that's fine. We'll see you next time. Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's good enough.
You can put some music over that. It's fine.